All right, so you know how we love to do these deep dives into, well, advice, timeless wisdom. So today we're going way back.
Really way back.
Yeah, we're talking ancient wisdom. And we're looking at the book of Proverbs.
Ooh, Proverbs. Always a good one.
It is, it is. Specifically, we're going to chapter 5. And, this chapter, it really gets into it.
It does. It gets right into temptation.
Yeah, temptation, wise decision-making, relationships, like the big stuff.
Huge. And it's interesting because this is, a lot of people attribute this, the book of Proverbs, to King Solomon.
Oh, right. Known for his wisdom.
Exactly. So we're dealing with some pretty heavy-hitting stuff here. And the thing that really strikes me about Proverbs 5 is it doesn't just lay down a bunch of rules.
Right, right. It's not like a list of do's and don'ts.
No, it's so much more vivid than that. It uses this really powerful imagery to paint a picture.
It's like it wants you to really feel the weight of your choices.
That's exactly it. I mean, even the language itself, when it's talking about what it calls the forbidden woman, it uses these descriptions like lips as sweet as honey, smoothie than oil.
Almost like seductive, the language.
Yeah, you can almost get swept away in it.
But then there's this really stark contrast. It's like it flips the script.
Totally.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because those fleeting pleasures, those alluring descriptions, they become bitter as poison. Dangerous as a double-edged sword. It's a total 180.
And I think that's such a powerful point because, haven't we all been there?
Oh yeah, we've all experienced that.
Where something seems so appealing, so enticing at first, but then, oh man, the consequences.
They can be brutal.
Yeah, and Proverbs 5 really isn't afraid to go there. It's not just talking about the emotional fallout, the heartache.
It gets real about the practical consequences, too.
Yeah, exactly. It talks about loss of honor, loss of wealth, like damage to your health.
It's like this downward spiral set in motion by just one bad choice.
And I think that's something that really resonates with people, even today, thousands of years later. The idea that our actions have these ripple effects.
It's not just about us.
Right. It's about how our choices impact the people around us, our families.
Absolutely. Our communities.
The whole deal. But, it's not all doom and gloom in Proverbs 5.
No. There's a really powerful alternative presented as well.
It offers this path forward, right? This way to actually find fulfillment and joy.
And this is where that whole idea of drinking from your own well comes in.
Okay, yeah, explain that one. That's a metaphor, right?
It is. It's this beautiful metaphor for cherishing the love that you find within a committed relationship. It's like saying you don't have to go searching for satisfaction and fulfillment in all these fleeting, shallow places.
Like you've got something precious right here.
Right there. And it's something that you can cultivate, you can nurture, you can protect.
I love that. It makes you think about, like, what does make a relationship truly fulfilling? What are those qualities, those deep connections that are worth cherishing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. And it's interesting, how the imagery in this part of the text, it shifts so dramatically.
Oh, yeah, it totally changes.
Like we go from this dangerous temptress, this figure that represents like all those fleeting desires. And then suddenly we have the wife.
And she's depicted as this loving deer, this graceful doe. It's such a beautiful contrast.
It's celebrating beauty, but it's a different kind of beauty. It's the beauty of fidelity, of deep connection.
It is. It's that lasting love. It's that real commitment.
And it almost feels like Proverbs 5 is saying, look, here's the path to lasting joy. Here's what you're looking for. But then, just in case anyone thought, oh, well, maybe I can stray from that path and no one will notice.
It brings in the big guns.
It does. It brings in that concept of divine observation.
Yeah, it says the Lord sees clearly what a man does, like straight up, no hiding.
And I think for some people that might be a very literal interpretation.
Yeah, that there's a higher power watching our every move.
But even for those who might not interpret it that literally, I think there's still this powerful message about accountability.
Right, because whether you believe in a God who's watching or not, there's still that inner voice.
There is that conscience.
That sense of right and wrong.
That can guide us, even when no one else is watching.
Exactly.
And Proverbs 5, it really contrasts this idea of foolishness, which leads to all those destructive consequences we were talking about.
With self-control.
With self-control, right? Which it presents as this key, this essential ingredient to a fulfilling life.
And self-control, I think sometimes we get this got this image of it as being very restrictive.
Oh yeah, like you're constantly saying no to yourself.
Exactly, but I think it's so much more than that.
It's like it's about freedom, almost.
It is. It's about the freedom that comes from mastering your desires, from making choices that are aligned with your values.
So you're not just reacting, you're actually in control.
You're in the driver's seat, and ultimately it's about creating a life of integrity and purpose.
And that's something we can all get behind.
Absolutely.
So, to kind of wrap up all this amazing wisdom from Proverbs 5, we talked about the allure of temptation, the very real consequences of unwise choices, the beauty of fidelity and committed love, and then this essential ingredient of self-control.
Powerful stuff.
It is. And it makes you think, how can we actually apply these ancient principles to our own lives and relationships today in this crazy modern world?
In this crazy, chaotic, fast-paced world.
Exactly. So I'll leave you with that thought. What are some areas where you could exercise more self-control? Or maybe seek deeper fulfillment in your connections? It's worth thinking about.
It really is food for thought.
That's what we're here for. All right, until next time.
Keep diving.